We are here at SESAM to participate in the first Agroforestry Congress in Indonesia, organized by our local partner, Brawijaya University in Malang. And we're here to share the first insights from the SESAM program on the forest water people nexus in agroforested landscapes, and to present the serious gaming methodologies that we've developed within the program.
If we look at how the game can be used, then one way to think about it is so-called issue cycle. Think about these games in 5 steps. The agenda setting, awareness raising. Is it a problem? The second step is shared understanding. What is this problem? Where does it come from? How does it work? The third is, so what? Is it really serious? Do we want to change things? What are the goals for changing things? The fourth step is, once we have goals, what is the means of implementation? What will people do differently? And how do we share responsibility? The fifth step is monitoring. Are we actually achieving what we want to achieve or not?
So we develop Forces game. So Forces stand for farmer options and is fixed for ecological social systems. So this game is designed to be played by individual participants to explore the farmer management options and to understand the rationale behind their choices. So Forces game raised the challenge to find a synergy between maintaining economic benefits and also ecological functions such as water infiltrations and the litter to cover the soil. We really focus on the plot level in this case. We develop Forces based on 3 cases study in East Java, Indonesia. So we considered the balance between the generic and specific setting on our designs.
Saya pikir itu menjadi satu hal yang sangat menarik dan aplikatif kepada stakeholder kita, khususnya bagaimana meningkatkan kesadaran masyarakat terhadap peran konservasi yang harus mereka lakukan.
Sebagai mahasiswa itu kita hanya mendapatkan materi teori aja selama perkuliahan. Nah, dengan memainkan game ini secara tidak langsung kita bisa langsung belajar dan bisa langsung mendapatkan mengimplementasikan secara langsung. Di game ini kita juga dilatih untuk berpikir kritis, menentukan pilihan dan bisa mengetahui konsekuensinya secara langsung seperti itu.
So H2 Hours is a game about the water use, resource and sustainability, and in this game we simulate the water balance as the impact of the land use and water management at the landscape level. H2 Hours actually is the continuation of the Forces game. So if in the Forces game the players focus on the decision making at the landscape level, how the farmers make a decision on their plot, and the H2 Hours focus on the collaboration and collective action at the landscape level to achieve their common goal.
Kalau tidak dengan game mungkin akan membosankan dan hanya di awang-awang, tapi dengan permainan ini nampak nyata dan terukur. Ada ukuran yang bisa dijadikan patokan bahwasanya oh ternyata agroforestry itu menguntungkan dari sisi ekologi maupun dari sisi ekonomi.
I would love to play in my class as well. I need to discuss that with the developers, and very useful and something that we learn more from practical teaching. This is like practical, rather than theoretical. So certainly very useful for teaching purpose and very useful for the farmers as well. I think this way it can be developed into a software, but the farmer must have access to those softwares. I think it's fine as it is.
I hope this game can help the stakeholders by giving them more understanding about their socio-hydrological system, and then also provide them a tools to explore various scenario, various solutions that can be helpful or give a better landscape management.
In addition, we are here discussing the further development of our collaboration beyond the SESAM program by discussing the potential role of the insights gained and the methodological developments within the SESAM program for local applications.
Definitely interested in using this research in my future work in community development, and I think the potential to use games to engage with communities and groups of people is really interesting, and I think it could be a really good way, a good tool to get communities' perspective on their resources that surround them and how they would manage them.
It is the game itself that maybe have to be adapted to whom actually will be addressed. Is it for farmers group or for the student group? But I would say this game is really, really powerful.
Challenges between making the game as a tool and how is it used. And what we are learning so far is that, especially if you want to play the game with farmers and people in the village, it has to look very local. It cannot be generic, the layer underneath. So we've seen that developing a game is possible for any place, but how to make it transferable, how to make it that other people in other contexts can still use it in a similar way. So we need to distinguish the game as such, the game as a tool, and how the game is used, what are the expectations for using the game, and what is the evidence that it actually succeeds in that. First 2 steps for sure, they can be very useful, probably in the 3rd step of the commitment, and beyond that we need to grade into other. So it's not that the game will suddenly solve the whole thing, but the game can be very useful in these steps towards a common but differentiated responsibility for the environmental issues that we have.